Hello students, today we are going to study increment and decrement operators. As we know, operator is a symbol that designates an operation and the operation is performed on the operands. So the arguments of the operator are called operands. That is, the arguments on which the operation of the operator is performed. The combinations of operators and operands according to the rules of syntax is what we call as expression. Now operators are of different types and there are different bases on which they can be classified. One way of classifying the operators is based on the function. That is, we have arithmetic operators that perform arithmetic functions. Then we have got logical operators that are used to do logical operations. Then we have relational operators that are used to do comparisons. We have bitwise operators that are used to do bitwise operations. Then we have got certain special operators like conditional operator, increment and decrement operator, size of operator, comma operator in C. Now operators can be also classified based on the number of operands on which they perform the operation. If the operator performs the operation on single operand, then it's called a nary operator, and if it performs the operation on two operands, then it's called a binary operator, and if it performs operation on three operands, then it is called a ternary operator. We have only one ternary operator in C, and that is the conditional operator. Now we can also classify the operators based on where they are placed. If the operator is placed in the middle of the operands, then we call it as an infix operator. If it's placed before the operand, then it is called a prefix operator, or if it's placed after the operands, then it is called postfix operator. That is according to the relative position with respect to the operands that the operator occupies. This classification is based on that. Now increment operator has got a symbol 2 plus signs, and it increases the value of operand on which it acts by 1. That is, it adds 1 to the value of operand. It acts on a variable and increases the contents of variable by 1. Normally it acts on integer, float or double variables. Now decrement operator has a symbol 2 minus signs, and it decreases the value of operand by 1. Sorry, I have written here operator, it should be operand. It decreases the value of operand by 1. That is, it subtracts 1 from the operand. Normally a variable and the contents of variable are decreased by 1. That is, 1 is subtracted from it. It also acts on float, double and integer variables. Now both increment and decrement operators are nary operators because they act on the single operand. Both can be used either in prefix and postfix form. That is, you can place the increment operator before the operand. In that case it is used in prefix form, or you can place it after the operands, and then in that case it is used in the postfix form. Same is true of decrement operator. You can use it in prefix form and postfix form. Both are special operators. Increment and decrement operators when used independently behave similar. Actually the operators, that is increment and decrement operators, can be used either independently or used in a arithmetic expression. Using independently means we are not using them in the assignment statements, and at that time it will be very difficult to differentiate the difference in which these operators act in a prefix and postfix form. That is when they are used independently. We can go into IDE and see how they can be used independently. Now suppose I have the integer variable a. I can increment its value, or I can use the increment operator in postfix form or in a prefix form. Let me first use it in a postfix form. Here I am placing the operator after the variable. Let me initialize the variable with the value 2. Now I am watching the contents of a. Okay. Once I execute this program, you will see that now a is a variable that is of integer type, and I am using in the next statement the increment operator on a in postfix form. Why postfix form? Because the operator is placed after the operand. Now a has been initialized to 2. Let us see what this statement does to a. If you observe the value of a before the execution of this statement, it is 2. Now after the execution, a becomes 3. That is, the increment operator increases the value of the operand by 1. In this case, the operand is a. Now operand is of type integer. Okay, let me use the same operator in postfix form now. Sorry, prefix form. That is, once I place the operator before the operand, it's a prefix form. Pre means before, post means after. So now I have placed the increment operator before a. So it's a prefix form in which I am using the operator. This operator acts on a and increases the value of a by 1. It actually performs the arithmetic operation by increasing the value of a by 1. Okay. Now let us see what it does in prefix form. Again, when I execute the program, you will see the value of a is 2, and now it will increase to 3. So when it is used in prefix form and postfix form, you will simply observe that the value of a is increased by 1. But once we use it in an expression, you will see that it will behave in a different way, and we have to learn that behavior of the increment operator. Okay. Now in case of decrement operator, you will see, first let me use it in a prefix form. Again, once I execute, you will see a is 2, and after the execution of the next statement, that is in which I am using a decrement operator, the a has become 1, if you see in the watch window. Okay. Again, in the postfix form, we can place the decrement operator after the a. So once I execute it, again the same thing will happen. A has got value 2. Once this operator acts on a, so it decreases the contents of a by 1, or it decreases the contents of a variable on which it acts by 1. Now it is here I am using it on the integer data type. Now suppose I have a float data type or double, I can use equally on it, because these three data types, that is integer, float and double, they are used to hold numbers. Now let us see, a is 2. Now after this, it will decrement the contents by 1. Okay. Now I will use it in a prefix form. Okay. In this case, let me change the value to 2.9. Okay. You will see it will decrease the contents of a by 1. Now after the execution of the statement, if you see in watch window, you will see that 2 becomes 1.9. That is, the contents of the a have been subtracted. 1 has been subtracted from the contents of a. Okay. So the increment and decrement operator, this is how we use it independently, without using it in a expression. Now once I use it in an expression or in an assignment statement, you will see the behavior will be different. Okay, let us go back. Now when increment and decrement operators are used with expressions, and you should remember one more thing, or with assignment statements. Okay, when the increment and decrement operators is used in prefix forms, once we use the increment and decrement operator in prefix form, first it increment and decrement the variable as many times the incrementation or decrementation is used on it. When it is used in a prefix form, it increments or decrements the contents of variable as many times as it is used on a variable, and then after that evaluation of the expression takes place with the new value that the variable has. So if you use the increment or decrement operator in a prefix form, in an expression, first, or in an assignment statement, first what happens? It increments or decrements the contents of a variable, and after that the arithmetic expression is evaluated, or after that the assignment takes place. When the increment and decrement operator is used in postfix form, at that time what happens? We use the value of a variable as it is in the arithmetic expression or in the assignment statement, and after the assignment or after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression, the incrementation or decrementation takes place. That is, when we use increment and decrement operator in postfix form, means that first the contents of the variable are used in the arithmetic expression, and after that incrementation or decrementation takes place. Or if you use it in an assignment statement, first the contents of variable are used in a assignment, that is simple assignment, where you have got variable equal to variable on which the incrementation is performed. Okay. Now increment and decrement operators cannot be used on constants. We will see that now once we go to ID. Okay. See here, if I have got a variable, say int a equal to say 7, and I have got another variable, say h. I say h is equal to plus plus a. Here I have used a in prefix form. So once we use it in an assignment statement in a prefix form, this is a simple assignment statement where I say variable is equal to incrementation I am performing on some other variable. Actually this is also an arithmetic expression. Okay. Now what happens in this form? Since I am using it in a prefix form, so first the incrementation will be performed on a, and that value, after the incrementation, that value will be assigned to h. Okay. Now let us see how it works. If you see here, the contents of a are 7, and let us watch h also. Okay. Now first the incrementation will be formed because we are performed because we are using the increment operator in a prefix form. So the incrementation is done first, and after that the value is assigned. Okay, let us see that. So a should change to 8, and that 8 should be assigned to h because first the incrementation is performed. Okay, now see, incrementation has been performed first on a, that is, the value has changed to 8, and then that value is assigned to h. Okay, now let us see once we use it in a postfix form. In that form, first it will be assigned to h, and after that the incrementation will take place. Let us see that. You will know the difference. Now once the operator is used in an assignment statement or in an arithmetic expression in a postfix form, what happens? The value of the variable of that on which the incrementation is performed is assigned to the variable on LHS of the assignment statement, and after that the incrementation is performed. That is, what is the value of a at this stage? It is 7. So 7 will be assigned to h, and after that incrementation will be performed. See here, so h will be 7 and a will become 8. In the previous example, where we used it in a prefix form, first the incrementation was performed and then the assignment took place. Now in this case, now first the value of a is not incremented and it is assigned to h, and after that incrementation has taken place. In the first case, h was assigned with the value 8, but in this case h is assigned the value 7. If you observe, that is the difference between the pre-increment and post-increment. In case of pre-incrementation, the operands on which the incrementation is performed, they are first incremented, and after that their new values are used in the expression, and the expression is evaluated, and that value is assigned to the variable on LHS, or if you are doing a simple assignment, that is variable equal to another variable which is incremented, then in that case what happens, that we have seen, the operand on which the incrementation is performed, pre-incrementation is performed, is incremented first, and that value is assigned to the variable on LHS. Okay. In case of post incrementation, what happens? In case of the assignment statement, simple assignment statement, where I am saying variable equal to the variable which is being incremented. Now, in case of post incrementation, what happens? The value of the variable which is incremented, which is to be incremented, is used in the assignment statement as it is, and after the assignment the incrementation is performed. So incrementation will be performed on the A in both cases, whether you are using it in a pre-incrementation form or post-incrementation form. It is something like this: H equal to plus plus A. Now you can take it, this is I am just showing to explain you. You can take it, it is like this: A is equal to A plus 1, then this statement is equal to, then H is equal to A. Okay, that is, this pre-incrementation can be taken as, first, I am not writing here executable statements, I am just explaining what this statement means. That is in pre-incrementation form of A. What this means: first A is incremented and then the value of A is assigned to H. Now let us see what happens once we write a expression like this: H is equal to A plus plus, then we say plus 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 A, then we say plus, then we say A plus plus. Now if you observe, we are doing post incrementation 2 times and we are doing pre-incrementation 1 time. Okay, what will happen in this case? In case of post incrementation, incrementation will be done later. First the value will be used, but since A is a same variable, that is, the contents of the same variable are used at 3 places. This is important, what you should understand. Now, so we should not worry about the post incrementation, because in case of post incrementation, the incrementation will take place after the assignment. Okay, what happens in case of pre-incrementation? In case of pre-incrementation, the values of the variable are first incremented. So I'll show here what this means. So the value of A is incremented first, so it becomes 8. Now what are the value of A at 2 other places? They are same, because A is same, so 8 plus 8 plus 8, and that should be assigned to H. I have to put a comment here. This is simply a comment to explain you what are the values. Now see here, pre-incrementation of A is done once, so it becomes 8. Okay, let us see the answer first, then we will have further explanations. Now if you see, H is assigned 24, that is 8 plus 8 plus 8, that is 24. Now if you see in this expression, what happens? The rule is, if you have watched my video on arithmetic expression, only one operation is performed at a time. Now since only one operation is performed at a time, how many operations we have to do? Let us see that first. We have to do one incrementation, another incrementation, and another incrementation. So we have to do 3 incrementations, and we have to do 2 additions. Okay, so the operations to be performed are 3 incrementation and 2 additions. But what is the rule? Only one operation will be performed at one time. This we have seen once we have discussed arithmetic expressions, that only one operation is performed. And which operation is to be performed? That is determined by the precedence of the operators. Okay, and if the operators have the same precedence, then we have to check their associativity. Let me tell you that increment and decrement operator have higher precedence than arithmetic operators. That is, the arithmetic addition, subtraction, multiplication and division has lesser precedence than incrementation, whether it is in post form or prefix form. Another important thing is that for increment and decrement operators, the associativity is from right to left. If you see the precedence table which I have shown in that video, and you must have got the books also where you will be seeing that precedence table in the chapter on how to evaluate arithmetic expressions, you have to refer to that table, and that table has been given by C compiler designers, and they have already specified that the increment and decrement operator has higher precedence than arithmetic operators, that is arithmetic addition, subtraction, multiplication or division. And we know that multiplication and division has higher precedence than addition and subtraction. Now, what will be done first here? Since one operation is to be done, that is incrementation. Now, so which incrementation will be done? There are three incrementations that are to be done. This will be decided by associativity, right to left. Once I see the first incrementation, that is incrementation, let me write here for making you understand this. This is the first incrementation that will be done. But since it is in a postfix form, this incrementation will be done after the evaluation of the expression. So this incrementation is delayed till the expression is evaluated. Now we have got a second incrementation. So this incrementation, once it has been checked by the compiler that it is in postfix form, the compiler will generate the machine code such that this incrementation, that is the first incrementation, is done after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression and after the assignment of the value to the h. This is one and the same thing. Now let us see what is the second operation. The second operation the compiler can perform because it is a pre-incrementation. The rule here is that the incrementation is to be performed. Now what is the previous value of the a on which the incrementation is performed? That is 7. Okay, now since that is 7, it becomes 8 now. So value of a has become 8. Okay, now so the value of a has become 8. Now again this operation is over, and this value is yet retained in the a. Now next operation, that is the third incrementation, it cannot be done. It is to be done after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression or after the assignment of value to h. This is one and the same thing. If I say after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression or after the assignment of value to the h, it is one and the same thing, because the value will be assigned to the h only after the arithmetic expression on the RHS side has been evaluated. Now what is important here is that the value of a has been changed to 8. So this 8 value will be used at 3 places because it is the same variable. Same variable means it is the same memory location. So we have now expression like this: 8 plus 8 plus 8. Now out of this, how many operations will be done? Because we have two operations, that is two addition operations. Again, these two operations have the same precedence because one operation is to be performed. So we go for associativity, that is left to right. So that is 8 plus 8, that becomes equal to 16, and after that we are left with 16 plus 8. Now again this operation is done and we get a result what we call 24, and that 24 was assigned to h, which you have already seen. Okay, this is the explanation how this expression, arithmetic expression, is evaluated, because it involves the increment operators only in prefix and postfix form. Okay, now let us make further changes to this. Let us have another variable, say b. Okay, now let me modify this expression, plus or say into 2. Let me keep this value as say 2 into 2 plus a plus 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 a minus minus plus b plus plus. Okay, now if we have an expression like this, what is to be done? Again, the same way we evaluated the arithmetic expressions. So the increment operators have higher precedence. How many incrementations are to be done? 1. Again, decrementation and incrementation has the same precedence. 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then 6. Okay, now what will be done first? First this incrementation will be done, that is b plus plus. Let me put the value of b as 2 also. Okay, now after this increment, will this incrementation be performed? No, since it's a post incrementation. This is to be performed after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression. So value of b is 2. Okay, it is 2, and it is to be changed after the expression. That is, we have to add 1 to its value after the assignment statement is over or arithmetic expression has been evaluated. That will b will become b is equal to b plus 1. But this is to be done after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression. Now next is a. Since it's in a post decrementation, this will be also performed after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression or after the assignment of the value of the arithmetic expression that is generated by the arithmetic expression to the h. Now what happens in this case? Again, a has to be decremented once, that is a is equal to a minus 1. That is afterwards. These statements I am writing just to explain. I will be removing these statements. Now what happens? So value of a is still 2. Okay, now next, third incrementation is performed because all these incrementations have the same precedence. So associativity, again, it is right to left, not left to right for increment operators and decrement operators. Now again a plus plus. So a will be, again it's a post incrementation. So this means a has to be incremented once after the arithmetic expression has been done. Okay, now so value of a is still 2. Now next next is this incrementation. It is again post incrementation. So a is retained as 2. Okay, next we have a pre incrementation of a. So a becomes now 3. Okay, we had for the fourth incrementation operation, we have to again write a is equal to a plus 1. Okay, now next one is again a post incrementation. So that's the 6th operation. So the value of a is still 3, and again the value of a will be used as 3 in the previous places where the operand is used because it has been incremented. Okay, so the value of a has to be incremented how many times? 1, 2 and 3 times after the assignment statement. Why? Because we have 3 post incrementations on a. That means the value of a will become, after this incrementation, 3 plus 1, that is 4, 4 plus 1, that is 5, and 5 plus 1, that is 6. That is, after 3 incrementations, A's value should become 6. Okay, so A should become 6. Now what will happen to B? B should become 3. Since there is one decrementation to be performed on the A, that will further decrease the value of A from 6 to 5. Okay, so we have like this 1, 2 and 3 incrementations after the assignment statement. That will increase the value of A to 5, and we have one incrementation, that is pre-incrementation, that will increase value one more, that will add one more 1 to A, that will be, it will be 6. But since there is one decrementation on A, that will decrease the value of A after the assignment statement, and it will finally become 5. I hope you have understood up to this stage. Now once we have done all this, now the expression will be evaluated following the rules of precedence and associativity. So we have something like this now: 3 plus 3 plus 3 into 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2. Now what will happen in this case? You will again use precedence. What is the precedence rule here? The precedence rule here is that the expression is to be evaluated according to the rules of precedence. That is, the operators with a higher precedence will be evaluated first. Okay, so what is to be done first? Since one operation takes place at one time, so it will be 6. Then to that 6, 3 will be added again. 3 plus 3 will be done. That is, let me do it. That is 3 plus 3 plus 6. We did multiplication because it had higher precedence. Then plus 3 and plus 3 and plus 2. After doing these operations one by one, we will finally have to do, that is, these additions will be performed one by one. I'll be just simply adding them all together, but they will be done one by one by the what you call at execution time. Okay, so 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 6 is 12, 12 plus 3 is 15, 15 plus 3 is 18, 18 plus 2 is equal to 20. This should be my answer. Okay, 3 plus 3 is 6, again 6 plus 6 is 12, 12 plus 3 is 15, 15 plus 3 is 18, 18 plus 2 is 20. If I am right in what I have said, then I should get an answer like this. Okay, let us see practically now. Yes, sir. Okay, you will see after the execution of this statement, A has become 5, H we are evaluating at 20, and we can also see B. So that is 3, as I had predicted, because this is how the compiler performed. We did it manually, then the compiler also did it in the same way, because if our logic is right, if our logic would not have been right, we would not have got correct answers. So in the evaluation of the arithmetic expression which uses increment or decrement operators, we have to see whether the increment or decrement operator has been used in prefix form or postfix form. In case it has been used in a prefix form on a variable, then that particular variable is to be incremented, and the final value that settles after the incrementation of the variable, because variable may be incremented at various places in the arithmetic expression. Okay, once we get the final value of the variable, that variable value will be used in the arithmetic expression, and the evaluation will be done on that value. Now in case it has been used in a postfix form, the incrementation will not be done at the first time, and those incrementations will be delayed till the evaluation of the arithmetic expression is over. And once the evaluation of the arithmetic expression is over or assignment has been performed, the incrementation will be done. Same is true of decrementations. That is, all the decrementations which are in prefix form in the arithmetic expression will be done before the evaluation of the expression, and the final value that settles for a variable after its decrementation in prefix form will be used in the arithmetic expression. All the decrementations which are in postfix form will not be performed once the arithmetic expression is evaluated. Those decrementations will be performed after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression, and the final value of the variable on which incrementation or decrementation is performed will be set accordingly based on the number of incrementations or decrementations that are performed on the variable in an arithmetic expression. Now, this was about increment and decrement operators. Let me remove a space here between the binary plus and the increment operator. I'll remove the spaces. See what happens. You get errors. So you need to have spaces between the operators, that is when you are using increment or decrement operators on a variable, before it and after it. That is, you need to have a space once you are using an increment operator. Suppose I am using a increment operator in postfix form on A here, then there is a space before it and there is a space after it. Okay, some compilers report errors, and you have seen the Turbo C compiler, C++ compiler, it has also reported an error for me. So this is again, so whenever an increment or decrement operator is used, it can be used independently. At that time you will not be able to distinguish the behavior of an operator, whether it is used in a prefix form or postfix form. In both cases it seems that it decreases the value or increases the value of any variable on which it is used by 1. But once you use it in an expression, at that time we come to know how actually these operators behave. Once they are used in arithmetic expressions in prefix form, the incrementations are performed on the operand, and after that the new value of the operand that settles down is used at all the places where the operand has been used. This is important. That is, if there is a pre-incrementation of A at 3 places in an expression, 3 different values of A will not be used, but the final value of A that settles after the 3 incrementations, that will be used. This is important. Now if you are doing the decrementation, that is pre-decrementation of suppose a variable A at 10 places, you will not, in an arithmetic expression, you will not be using 10 different values at 10 places. If you see from the associativity and precedence point of view, that you will be starting from right to left. But since it is a single variable on which these operations are performed, so whatever pre-incrementations or pre-decrementations are performed on a variable in a particular arithmetic expression, the final value that settles down will be used at all the places in the arithmetic expression. Okay, I hope this explains how the behavior of the increment and decrement operators are different once we use them in the expressions or in assignment statements. Okay, now some another important point that I have already clarified: some compilers require space on either side of the variable which has used an incrementation operator in prefix form or postfix form, or a decrementation operator in prefix or postfix form. I have shown it, otherwise it generates the errors. Now the precedence of the increment and decrement operators is greater than binary arithmetic operators, as I have told. So the incrementation and decrementation will be done before the binary addition or binary subtraction or binary multiplication or binary division. Binary means it is a binary operator, that is it uses two operands. Okay, and what you call, but the nary operators, that is nary plus and nary minus, have same precedence as increment and decrement operators, and in that case, if we are using those operators, we will use the associativity rule, and the associativity rule for both the operators, that is increment and decrement operators, and what you call as I was talking about nary minus and nary plus, it is from right to left. Okay, so where are they used? Mostly the increment and decrement operators are used in expressions, as we have seen, but increments and decrement operators are usually used in loops extensively. But I don't know why it has become a fashion in C to use increment and decrement operators in the loops only, but we can also manage loops without them, but I'll show you how to use it in the loops. Again, they can be used as array subscripts, that is as used as an index to refer to a particular array element. Now these operators are not used on constants. This is another thing. We cannot use increment and decrement operators on constants. I'll be showing these things one by one. Let us go into IDE and learn all these things that are remaining. Okay. Now, let us see if we can use an increment or decrement operator on a constant independently. Say plus plus 4. It will generate an error. You cannot use it. Okay. Or if you say a equal to plus plus 7, you cannot use it. Okay. Again, L value required. So you cannot use increment or decrement operator on constants. Let me show you, clarify one more thing why this is mentioned. Because if I use binary arithmetic operator, I can use it on a constant. Say I have used plus operator to add 2 and 3, no problem. But even though the logic of the increment operator was that it incremented the value or a number by 1, there was nothing wrong in using it on the constants, but the C compiler does not provide this feature, so we cannot use increment and decrement operators on constants. But we can use binary arithmetic and arithmetic operators on constants, as well as we can use, I think, nary operators on constants. Let us try it out. Nary minus, say, no problem. Nary operators can be used on the constants, but you cannot use increment and decrement operators on constants. Now, how do we use them in loops? Let me show you. Suppose I have a for loop in which I use a as a loop variable. Okay, I can say a less than 10. So this loop will execute till a is less than 10. Then I can say a plus plus. Now, how many times will this loop execute? Let me say less than or equal to 10. So far as the logic of this loop goes, a varies from 1 to 10, and the condition is true till a is less than or equal to 10. So this loop body will be executed 10 times, or this loop will have 10 passes or 10 iterations. But usually I used to write here, if you see in my loops, I used to write a is equal to a plus 1. That is, I used to increment the value of a by 1. Like with this statement, you can equally use this statement, and let us see how many times let me run this loop 3 times only. Okay, so see out, I can have a message, say hello. So my hello will be printed 3 times. Okay, okay. Now what happens? A is initialized, first time the for loop is executed, A is initialized to 1, then the condition is checked, condition is true, 1 is less than or equal to 3, yes, 1 is less than 3, so the condition is true, loop body is executed. Next time the incrementation takes place. Here I have used incrementation in post form, but after the execution of this statement, once we reach to condition, A would have been incremented by 1, that is, A would have become 2 in the second iteration. Now 2 is less than or equal to 3, so condition is true again, the loop body will be executed, and for 3 again, if the once the next time in the next iteration A is incremented by 1, so the loop body will be executed again. So loop will be executed 3 times. Let us run this program and see it in the user screen. What's the output? So hello message has come thrice. Okay, now if I use it in a prefix form, I was using in a postfix form, now I use it in a prefix form, not decrementation. I can use incrementation. Okay, now let me see, again the loop has run 3 times. So whether you use it in a prefix form or postfix form, it hardly matters if we use expressions like this. Okay, in that case it does not matter. We can have a full-fledged arithmetic expressions here. So in that case it will be behave in a different way. Now we can equally use decrement operators in loops, where I can run a loop from say 3 to 1. Okay, and I write a condition in a reverse way till my a is greater than or equal to 1. So I can use increment and decrement. Again this loop will run 3 times, and so this loop has run again 3 times. You have seen 3 hello messages were there. Okay, you can again see 3 hello messages are there. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now let us see how we can use increment and decrement operators as array subscripts. Okay, or index into a particular element of an array. And suppose I have an array of 4 elements here. Now initialize the array to different values. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 values stored in array. For now I use a variable I. I can use h also to index into array. I say h is equal to 0. Okay. Now if I say b is equal to a of h, let us first use a simple statement. Now this means I am accessing a of 0 and putting its value in b. Okay, let us see. Now h is 64 and it will be initialized to 0 after the execution of this statement. And if you see now, to the b I am assigning h of 0, and the value of h of 0 I have assigned as 1. You see here in the word window 1, and I have also given an assignment here at the point of declaration of an array. Now a of h, that is 1, will be assigned to b. See, b holds the value 1. Okay. Now if I use a of plus h, what does this mean? Plus h, again it is used the pre-incrementation form. So what happens? The value of h will be incremented first, so h will become 1. So now I am not referring to the 0th element, I should refer to the first element. That is the value of the second element will be stored in b, because h plus h means value of h will be incremented to 1, and that is the index of the second element. Okay, if you see here plus h, the value of h is 0. This is a pre-incrementation. So the as we know now, in pre-incrementation the operator's value is incremented in an assignment statement. So before the assignment is done, so h is 0, now it will become 1. So we are referring to a of 1. Okay, because in square braces I'll be using h, but I have done pre-incrementation to it, so I am referring to a of 1, that is the second element of the array, and the value of the second element of the array I have assigned 2. You can see p will be now assigned value 2. Okay, so this is clear now. We can use increment operator in prefix form as an index to array or as a subscript to an array. We can also use it in postfix form. In that case we will be referring to the 0th element only, because in case of postfix form the incrementation is done after the assignment or after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression, but here we have an assignment, and assignment, after the assignment the incrementation will be done. So we will be referring to the 0th element itself. If you see the value of the 0th element is 1. Okay, so 1 will be assigned to b. This is the indication. Okay, now you can equally use the decrement operator on as an index for indexing into an array, let me put h equal to 3. Now I can say h minus minus. Now since it's a post decrementation, that is decrementation is done in the postfix form, that is the operator has been used in postfix form on h. So in this case h will be having same value, that is 3, and it will be referring to a of 3, that is the fourth element. Okay, let us see that also. Now we see h is 3, that is the index of the fourth element, and if you see b is equal to 4 after that. So we have referred to the fourth element, but in this case in the subscript we have used decrementation operator in postfix form. Okay. Now we can also use decrement operator in prefix form. Okay, again now in this, since it's in a prefix form, the decrementation will be done first, after that assignment will be done. Okay, so what is the value of h? That is 3. Now it becomes 2, so we are referring to the third element now, because the index of the third element is 2, so a of 2 will become, has the value 3, and that 3 is assigned to the b. Okay. So this is how we use what you call the increment operator in the subscript or as an index. There are many variations in which increment and decrement operators can be used, and if the time permits, I'll show that time to time. But here I will again mention one more thing. As an array subscript, I'll be discussing that, but I'd love to say it here because it will be useful for you and you can do some exercise on it. In the array subscript we can use an arithmetic expression itself. Okay, so to refer to a particular element, so I can say suppose 2 into 1 plus 3, equally I can use variable. Now this is the expression. Finally whatever value will be calculated here, so that will be I can take 1, because otherwise I'll be referring to the element which is not present in the array. Now this expression, after the evaluation, it evaluates to a value, and that value will be used as an index to an array. Now this is 2 into 1, that is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, so we will be referring to the fourth element. Let us see that also. So the fourth element has the value 4, so b is assigned the value 4. So this was pretty something about the subscript. In the subscript we can use the increment operator or a decrement operator to refer to a particular array element, but we have to use increment and decrement operator on the variable. And again, increment and decrement operators can be used independently. Once they are used independently, they behave similarly, that is, we cannot say their behavior how it is different. So once we use them in arithmetic expressions, then we understand what is the difference between the prefix form of the operator and the postfix form of the operator, whether it's an increment operator or decrement operator. In case of the arithmetic expression, before the evaluation of the expression or before the assignment of the value that the expression generates, all the operators that are used in prefix form, whether increment operators or decrement operators, are used to increment or decrement the contents of the operand and or the variable, and then that operand is used in the arithmetic expression. And after that, once these are substituted as operands, we have to again follow the rules of precedence and associativity. Don't forget that. And in some cases typecasting may be also needed depending upon the application. Now if we use them in the postfix form, the incrementation or decrementation is delayed, and then that is done after the assignment. So whatever incrementations and decrementations are there in postfix form, they will be performed after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression or once the assignment has been done. That is, the value generated by the arithmetic expression is assigned to the variable on the LHS side. This is another way of saying the same thing. Basically, once we say that the arithmetic expression is evaluated after the assignment is being done, the assignment is done only after the evaluation of the arithmetic expression. And we have seen that increment and decrement operators cannot be used on constants. We have seen that increment and decrement operators have higher precedence than the arithmetic operators, but their associativity is from right to left. We have seen that in case of increment and decrement operators in some compilers, we need to provide a space before we use the operator and after the variable name, okay, whether in prefix form or postfix form. Otherwise, the compiler will generate the errors. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you.